just about to get started over here. Got a late start, trying to get some of the things out of the way. Editing. Hopefully everyone has been well. Weenie, of course I muted myself. Good morning. You can tell it's the morning time and the weekend because I have myself started off on mute. But Weenie, Hidden, great to see you guys. Hopefully you are having a great start to the weekend. Got some decent breakfast. Later today, it's going to be quite interesting because I'm actually going to be, if you guys are familiar with Frog's Gaming, I'll be meeting up with him a little bit later today. We'll be doing a video with him, so make sure to stay tuned for his channel. I think he'll post it up as a video. I don't think he's doing it as a live from what it seems like. Oh, you guys didn't start off with any food in the morning. Here, let me open this up for you guys so that way everyone can see the chat. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. It's too heavy. I get it. Yeah, some people just can't start food in the morning. I don't think I've ate breakfast. Hey, nothing wrong with it. You know, I'm starting to kind of feel like that same level too. I love breakfast. It's like my first go-to. Like I have to have breakfast in the morning. But more recently, I don't know if it's because as you get older, it almost feels like you feel like it's too much to start off with. Like compared to how it used to feel in the morning. It used to feel like very refreshing, but now it doesn't feel as great. So now, like usually when I start off in the morning, I'll start off like with a little bit of food first. Like I'll probably eat some like a little bit of cereal or something without milk or anything. And then later in the day, I'll have like more of like a brunch. So I wonder if do you guys do the same thing too yourself? Because that's how I usually start off the day. And if it's like a regular weekday, usually I'll eat like a little bit larger of a breakfast because I know I'm not going to eat for like hours and hours until the actual lunchtime, which is like around 12, because I'll eat like at 5. Hell no, not cereal. It's one of the worst things. Oh yeah, don't eat cereal. Well, I'm very specific about my cereal though. I usually try to get like some. I don't get no Captain Crunch or anything like that. What I'll do, steak and eggs. That's a good way. Hey, that's a really good way to start off. Like if I'm having a good breakfast, that's what I will certainly have. But usually I'll end up having like something like I need to have something that has high fiber. So usually I'll go for something like kashi. I'll go like for kashi, make sure it has like at least 10 grams of fiber in there. It isn't like your Lucky Charms or anything like that. because as you know, that's definitely not going to be great for you. And it's pretty wild when you think about it because when as a kid, you usually it seemed like that was an okay thing to eat. Like it was okay to eat that. Like right before you go to school, you just have like a bowl of cereal and you're pretty much good. But now you just realize like how terrible some cereals are really for you. It's quite insane, I gotta say. But has anybody out there like actually went out and ended up getting the Steam controller, by the way, just out of curiosity? Yes. Yeah. The sugar load. Yeah, that's it's absolutely insane. It's like I can't believe it was acceptable at that time, like as a kid, because you look at it, you just it's just like loaded. I mean, like they add all kinds of different artificial sweeteners and sugars and even the coloring, which has been proven like where it's been terrible for you, but they still put it in there anyway. Definitely one of the worst things for you. Like especially when you like like Fruit Loops for example, right? You know those colors are truly not those colors. It's all just like dyes and sweeteners. Yeah, pretty yeah, fake food. You know what's is one of the more disgusting things I gotta say, like when it comes to food wise, is like when you look at like ground beef, right? But ground beef, not regular ground beef, I can perfectly understand, and it's not supposed to be truly like this like deep pink, deep red color when you end up getting it. Now, when you get it fresh, yes, it's possible, but over time, of course, it starts to change color. And what they have now, and I'm sure if you've seen it, which is like pink slime on the burger. So it's not like truly beef. It's just like this extra type of artificial type of meat that's on there. Yeah, it's only red on the outside. Yeah, when they spray it, and and you do notice it because like when you start like making your burgers and everything, it just immediately changes color like so quick. But back to the Steam controller, no, I'm not getting it, but I'm waiting to see the GameCube. Oh, just to let all the wonderful members and everybody know, we do got a new product that actually came. It came in really by surprise. I thank Newegg for getting this to happen, which is we got some Bayer Dynamic DT900Xs. Definitely excited about it. The reason why I was excited about these headphones is because they actually are open ended instead of being closed ended. So usually, preferably when it comes to gaming, open ended is certainly better for that. So Hidden Bull says, I saw something about it being the most repairable controller made. I would consider buying it just for that. Absolutely. That's the thing when it comes to controllers there. I order most of my all my stuff from Newegg. Yeah, Newegg is very solid when it comes to their products. Like if they really truly care about everybody out there when it comes to their customers, especially when it comes to your hardware. I know they work day in and day out on trying to figure out ways. Even though like I do rag on them a bit, like when it comes to like Micro Center and how sometimes it seems like Newegg can be a bit more expensive than Micro Center at times. It's I can understand how hard it is to compete against a retail store that probably gets it for much more of a different price compared to Newegg, since they sell it so much more nationally instead. And of course, they cover the Canadian region as well. But Newegg has been solid, and they do know how to give deals when it is time. I just hope that I really hope their marketing side can certainly push out even better when it comes to their products. Now, you know what I'm really curious about is seeing how Computex is going to be. I'm curious to see if we will truly see like an X970E. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or not, but supposedly there's supposed to be this X970E, but from what it seems like it's like more like a uh, a myth more than anything from what I've heard at least. BioStar claimed that somebody claimed that BioStar was coming out with this X970E and that it's still going to be based on the AM5 platform, which is, of course, definitely possible. I mean, if they come out with Zen 6, yeah, it's going to have to be still an AM5. So Weenie says, yeah, I understand from people living next to Micro Center, but exactly. And Yes, Newegg is 100% clutch. Like, even when we didn't have Micro Center, we were very fortunate. Even though we're in a larger city like Miami, we didn't really get a Micro Center here until like about roughly about 2 years ago. It's like not that old. It's just hitting 2 years. And for us, the closest Micro Center that would be for us to be able to reach is the one out in Georgia, in Atlanta. That'd be the closest one that would be for here from Miami. And of course, you know how far that drive can certainly be. LSG, what's up? Great to see you. How are you feeling? Did you end up getting the 9950 extra D too? I know you were a bit curious about that. Hopefully, you got to check out those benchmarks. I wonder if that kind of gave you a bit more insight, especially since you had the 9950 extra D already. But when it comes to Newegg, they're clutch to everybody out there, especially if you're truly far. For some people, they're going to be hours away. Just like even we were in a major city like Miami, we were unable to get PC components unless we went to like a Best Buy. And you know, Best Buy isn't the greatest when it comes to it. At least when it comes to their hardware, it's like between it's like a year behind when it comes to Best Buy. Sometimes even 2 years behind. So yeah, Atlanta is 3.5 hours from me, and I hate Atlanta traffic. So yes, yes. And it would not be fun just to go to Micro Center. Can you imagine? You drive all the way out to Micro Center, and for them not to have the part that you're looking for. It's a 4 hour round trip to visit a Micro Center. Yes, absolutely. It shouldn't be that way. Amir, what's up? Great to see you, brother. How's everything? How have you been? Now I decided to go with Threadripper. Oh man, which Threadripper did you get, LSG? That's insane. Recently, we just like had this whole poll. I gotta put up the picture of it. But one of the guys and one of the fan man had mentioned that we should do pretty much like how do I say, like almost like super chatted to the point to where we can build a Threadripper. So far, we raised $5 for it. We still got a very long way to go, guys. So it's all good. Just about to update the new BIOS for the ROG Z890 Extreme. Oh, nice. Let me know how you like the new BIOS. I'm curious how much they changed around it. Like, right? $5. This is it's hilarious, right? We got a long way. We got like $5 out of like 7,000. So we got quite a bit of ways to go. By the time we build it, we'll probably be on Zen 6 by then. I mean, we'll probably be on AM6. We'll probably have an AM6 Threadripper. Exactly. 2050 project. Maybe we'll end up raising the money or ourselves. The 99. That's the exact one I want, LSG. Nice. I can't believe you got it. That's awesome. I really want to upgrade my Threadripper. I thought about like doing things. I don't know if it's truly worth it, but I even thought about just swapping out the cooler, trying to make it a bit more efficient. But I mean, honestly, it still does work pretty decent. But of course, it's showing its age at the same time because as all PC components, even though it's quite the beast, it still has some sort of they do wear down when it comes to and all electronics, even PC components, they wear it down and they start to get a little bit sluggish. They're not like how it was when it was at their prime. So the Threadripper CPU I want is like 10K. Yeah, they can get expensive. Is it the 9980, right? I think it's the 9980X that can be, and the 9990 is like super expensive. Some of them reach as high as like 17, which is insane, like 17,000. Amir says, enhance system security and added support for HU DIMM 2. That is awesome. We're going to start seeing that a lot. And that was the big rumor when it came to the X970E that they would end up being supported when it comes to the CU DIMM. So it seems like it's becoming a bit more of a standard. Same thing with SOCAM. SOCAM's like a new thing. If you're unfamiliar with SOCAMs, it's like almost just like an SSD the way it's installed. instead of like your typical RAM when you install it in, like just like how it clicks in, it's like in pretty much installing an SSD. LSG says it will be a while till I get the build with these. Yeah, that's the tricky part. I feel like for me too as well. Is like when it comes to something like this, it just it's just it can get a bit tricky, especially with the RAM. It's not so bad like when it comes to the motherboard. It's not so bad when it comes to the CPU, honestly. The motherboard, luckily, we'll probably be able to pull it from someone. We'll probably get it from Gigabyte, hopefully, or from Asus. And the Threadripper, I don't know if AMD will get it to me, but I'll give it a shot. Why not, right? Try to get AMD to get it. If not, then we can always end up getting it at Micro Center, especially the bundles. Because more realistically, everyone's going to end up going with the bundle at Micro Center. Now they do have the kit where it comes with 128 gigabytes of memory, but again, it's at 5200 megahertz, and it is for ECC RAM. So it's not like for your typical DDR5 RAM where it's not ECC. This is much more better for something like Threadrippers because you need something that's able to be you need something that can pretty much correct itself when it comes to its to any faults. So with BioStar, the interesting thing is they did mention that they aren't coming out with a new chipset, or they're not coming out with like truly like an X970E, but instead that they will show more X870Es during Computex. And I'm really curious to see what they will bring to the show. Now, one thing I'm certainly excited about 8,000 megahertz or nothing. Ugh. It's some nasty money. It's really rough. Like I mean, just look at let's take a look at some of these prices here, like just to get an idea. Like if anyone was to go like with some sort of build, I'm on DDR4. Hey, DDR4 still works great. I actually the what I'm streaming off of is a Threadripper Zen 2. So it's a 3970X, but I'm on DDR4 on this actual stream build. And it's also I'm not too far from 3200, but I have 3600 megahertz on this build. So it's up to 64 megabytes. I mean, not megabytes. It's up to 64 gigabytes. I was actually going to upgrade it to 128, but of course the RAM prices like truly shot up to the point where it didn't make sense to actually get the RAM at that point. So even if I update the cooler and added more RAM, I just thought, why not just go ahead and do a new Threadripper build? Especially for the channel, I'm sure everybody would love to see it in action, putting it together. Of course, we have the good thing is we have some of the components. What I would do is I would end up parting some of the old Threadripper parts out of this build, like the Noctua RTX 5080, and put it into the new one. Now it'd be nice to put the 5090 in there because ideally more is better. But again, for what I'm doing with it, I'll probably more than likely end up using it for like a NAS system, plus using it as my like true like hardcore editing, encoding, decoding type of rig more than anything. So let's switch over to the browser here, just to get a decent idea of like how some of this RAM is looking, especially if you look for some ECC RAM. Now, Kingston, of course, coming soon, coming soon. Here you go. V-Killer, 96 gigabytes, $11,999. You see how expensive that is? And this is coming direct from a V-Color. So, but remember, these are 96 gigabyte sticks. So that's a decent amount of RAM right there. Great for TRX 50 stations, again, workstations, for anyone that is doing a Threadripper build. So if LSG, let me know if you're getting something like this. I know it's quite pricey. Yeah, it's insane, right? 384 gigabytes. So I've been testing two kits from V-Color, 6000 megatransfer CL26, and depending what you're doing, 6000. Oh yeah, I would think so for sure. Especially especially if you're using it for gaming. 6,000 megatransfers is always going to take over. Waffle Skater. So I haven't been looking at prices for parts. Stuff going down, going back up. Only thing that I've seen is a lot of 5070s back towards the 550 mark. Yeah, so mostly like when it comes to RAM, actually they're coming down in a bit more fair pricing. Now ignore the pricing here because this isn't going to be your typical RAM kit. This is more for those who are planning a workstation build. Yes, exactly, Weenie. It's like used for AI. It's going to be used for heavy server reasons. Like the reason why the TRX 50 platform is so big, or Threadripper stations, is for those who do things like VFX, like which is honestly not going to be that big as much anymore. Honestly, hate to break it to anybody that does VFX because AI is taking over, but mostly now it's going to be AI. Or if you use your system more, if you use your PC instead of a typical PC, use it more of a like a super PC, like a supercomputer, because you can use it for you can use it as a NAS system. You can use it for your typical like editing rig. You can also use it. You can put like 3 PCs into one. That's like the whole purpose of it. So there's something about seeing 384 gigabytes of RAM that makes me laugh. Ernesto, happy Saturday. Great to see you. See you in action here. So yes, 384 gigabytes is hilarious, but I do have to show you guys, like when it comes to regular RAM pricing, it seems that it's come down actually quite fair. It's actually calming down a bit. Let's hope that it is the calm before. Let's hope it's like pretty much after the storm. Hopefully it's not that Computex ends up triggering these prices to shoot back up once again. I think the big alarm, if you guys did not hear, is that manufacturers such as ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, they all pretty much seen that their drop-off rate has been pretty severe when it comes to their selling PC components. They noticed that the DIY PC community is much more smaller. It's shrinking because now it's down to like about 25% to 36%. Because people are not able to afford builds. So let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and components and storage, go to memory. We're going to look at desktop memory. So here is some desktop memory, and here are good indicators. Now, sure, it looks pretty expensive. $700 is still kind of pricey, but realistically, a kit like this used to be $1,000, remember? Oh, wait a minute. This is DDR4. Well, that should not be the price, guys. I thought that was DDR5, guys. My bad. So I just turned on in stock. I had to look up about Hidden Bull. I don't know crap about servers. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's so much possibilities that you can do with it. It's like having your own personal server. Not everyone's going to be able to use it. Some people think like the bigger the processor, the better it is. Like when it comes to gaming, not necessarily, because it's like having a Threadripper has pretty much like the 9970X specifically has up to 32 cores and 64 threads. So it's like having 2 CPUs into one. Think of it like that. So Waffle Skater says, and consoles aren't doing themselves any favor. They're raising their consoles up 6 years into their lifespan. Absolutely. You know what the craziest thing is? You never see this. You never see when a console actually raises in prices. Typically, when a PS5 is out, usually the 3-year line, right? The 3 or 4-year line. Same thing with the Xbox, 3 or 4-year line. Once that like nearly like half a decade, like once a console is released, typically the prices are supposed to go down, not the opposite direction. Now you're seeing a PS5 right now should be pushing closer to around $300 technically, like if we were on the right timeline when it comes to pricing, because of course you have these indicators that are happening with AI and purchasing. It's causing everything just to shoot up dramatically. An Xbox Series X shouldn't be costing about $650 to $700. Instead, you should be only spending about $300 for the console. So Weenie says they got to keep that. Yeah, I agree. I'm not spending nowhere near that for 64 gigabytes of DDR5. DDR4. G-Skill's X5 series here is $480. So you get $90 off a promo code. So it's roughly about $390. So you can get this kit, 32 gigabytes, 6,000 megahertz. So the good thing is it's starting to go under that $400 level. So it is dropping, but just not dramatically, not as quick as everybody would like it to happen for. So, and Weenie says they can, Waffle Skater, make it more sense. Like guys who actually wanted a PS5 or a Series X would have gotten one by now. Anyone even thinking about it are going to see, okay, I have a great spin for you guys. And the spin's going to be this. Now, yes, naturally and normally, by the time now, especially in 2026, consoles have been out. PS5, Xbox Series X, they've been out roughly for about 5 years. Yeah, it's like been about 5 years, I think. So, even though they've been out for 5 years, there is one thing that can completely derail that thought. And you know what it is? It's the fact that if GTA 6 ends up releasing, that is what's going to drive the console sales up. Now, of course, there's different rumors coming out that Sony's going to come out with these GTA 6 bundles with their consoles to sell them. That would be quite interesting if that is the case. September, October launch of 2020. Has it been that long? For some reason, I was thinking 21. You might be right. Waffle Skater, I think you are right. Because I'm thinking back, and I remember I was trying to get it at Best Buy, and I think it was in 2020. Wasabi, what's going on? Thank you for coming in, as always. I appreciate the well wishes, too. So Hidden says, I got the PNYCS 3250 Gen 5. That sucker is fast. That makes, oh yeah. You know, one of the biggest things that, damn it. And one of the biggest underrated things when it comes to purchasing PCs is really the SSD makes a big difference when it comes to it. SSD is a game changer compared to RAM. Yes, RAM used to be like what you would go to back then, but SSDs are certainly key now. So Waffle Skater says, damn it, I thought I was done buying PS5s, but man, at GTA... Yes, and that's the problem. They know this. And I don't know if you guys have heard or not, but Take-Two, I'm just about to open this up public, guys. So Take-Two, let me just go over here. Give me a minute. Damn it. I hate when that happens. Okay. All right, so let me go over here. I just got to open up the live side of things here. So GTA 6. Not GTA 6. What was I going to say? Now I'm throwing off a thought because I'm trying to open up the chat. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. And let me get one more thing in the line here. So, so the biggest thing is GTA 6, Take-Two. That's where it was. So Take-Two, they, as you know, if you don't know, they spent around $2 billion for the project as it is already. So they spent a lot of money doing this whole GTA 6 project. And apparently the developer, well, not really the developer, but the owner, Pixel, what's going on? So pretty much the owner said, well, the game looks very impressive. I saw what the developers did with the game, and I gotta say, it's going to be exciting. He said, I had a chance to play GTA 6, but I don't play video games. But I can tell you it looks good. So a lot of people, when they hear something like this, and correct me if I'm wrong, especially for those who play games, his opinion's pretty much worthless. Because he probably doesn't know what he was looking at. He could have been looking at a cutscene. He could have been, who knows what he was looking at. So, thank you, Pixel. I was just talking about our project. Blue Lily, what's going on? Oh, that's right. That reminds me. So, guys, everybody that's coming in, I'll turn it on soon. Uh, so the plan is, the plan is, we're trying to do a Threadripper build, but we need probably about $7,000 to do it. So far, we got $5. So this was, I believe this was Pixel's idea that actually brought this up, if I'm not mistaken. So, I don't play video games. You're not selling me. Exactly, right, Waffle? It makes no sense. Okay, so let me open up the Social Ninja so everybody can see each other. There we go. There we go. That's what we like. Pixel cough up 7,000. Yeah. Unfortunately, if I did have the funds, we did spend quite a bit of money on these past two builds. That's why I was so surprised everyone wanted to see the 9950 Extra D2. I know. that's what I said. But hey, people want to see it. If you want to see it, we gotta we have to open up a fund for it. There we go. So let me see. Copy this. It seems like people are testing how far I'll go. I would end up going bankrupt eventually if that's the case. Let's see. Let me go here. Apologize for this momentary thing I'm fixing right now. I'm attempting to turn on TikTok. I'm just curious. Let me turn this off. There we go. Beautiful. Hopefully it works, because I don't know if you guys were in part of the chat on Wednesday. If you guys missed out, we were having fun. We were talking about the LSS5, and we were talking about Lego Batman. And apparently, when I talked about Lego Batman, I said a word. I said the M word, which TikTok did not like, and they end up flagging me for it. And it's not the M word you might be thinking of. It's not MF. It's another word. It's a word for little people that begins with M. And TikTok flagged me for hateful content. I did not know that word was so hateful. But now I'm attempting to end up pushing it. Z-Man, what's going on? Waffle Skater, and what phone do you use as my main? So I use a iPhone 17 Pro Max as my main. I know, right? Exactly. That's what you would think. So Chris getting into general, I know, I feel bad for upcoming kids. Like if I have a kid, they're gonna be like, what? They should be walking into an inheritance, not that. I would like to see you swap the X3D2 into a Gigabyte Ors Elite and see if benchmarks are better than worse. Okay, so an X3D2 and an Ors Elite, that's an interesting one. I like that idea. That's definitely a bit more affordable than a Threadripper build. They flagged you. I know, exactly. Because you must not be up. Yeah, it was pretty insane. Like when I got flagged for it, I was like, what the hell? Like I did not expect that. Like out of all things, out of all words, I got flagged for this. A $5. That is true. Yes, $5 cannot get me that motherboard. But what I could do is I could reach out to Gigabyte and try to get one in. You know what? What I'll probably do is I'll probably wait out for Computex, and when Computex does debut all their motherboards, I'll try to get in touch with one of these companies. Whether if it's with Gigabyte, I'll reach out to them and try to get one of their boards, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a new board that they'll introduce. They introduced that new dark wood board pretty much. The X870E, but that was it so far as of current. Did you get the? No, I did not. That's a great question, Amir. I almost forgot about that, actually. I should be able to get it. I didn't know the M word was bad. Yeah, I know. That's what I thought too. I had no idea. I had no idea that was such a bad word. I mean, they flagged me. I think they still are punishing me. So if anybody's on TikTok, let me know if they're showing my live or if they're still punishing me for bad behavior or hateful speech. So Pixel King says, I got the Ryzen 5 5600X RTX 3070 or the 5060. The 3070 honestly isn't bad. I mean, Nvidia is still continuously wanting to push for the 3070s. They're actually still producing them. It's really weird, considering that they're not even thinking 40 series. They're thinking 3070s. We could push out more. So also there's going to be less motherboard being shipped out. Yes, and that's a big issue, because if there's less motherboards, of course you have less PC building. So, uh, uh yes. So it's not looking good. It's not looking good for Asus. It's not looking good for MSI, Gigabyte. A lot of your favorite PC manufacturers are certainly suffering. They're feeling it. So they're not liking this whole price increase when it comes to hardware as much as we do. So hopefully they don't end up hopping on this whole AI train. Let's hope that they will keep pretty much their head together. But I still think it's insane. You still got companies like Razer and everything, like companies that you wouldn't think would hop into this whole AI wave. Um, they're actually going to it. They're actually wanting to be a part of it. Like Razer is coming out with AI servers, like pretty much like server racks that they have that you can go with Razer, and it's completely customizable. You can pick your own UI. Pretty insane that they would go that direction, if anything. So right now, I'm just gonna go check out this live, and I'm gonna put this goal, which will probably never, they'll probably take us years to get to at this point. Let's see, uh, right here. I'm gonna put it up. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna turn out here. Gonna be really interesting. And let's see. Put the goal. We'll put 50 super chats, and we'll put the timer for 2 hours. And funding for Threadripper. This is gonna be hilarious. There you go. Awesome. Now it's live. Now, 3070 will get good with the new 5800 X3D. And you know what's pretty wild is just like we're going back to this whole phase of AM4. And it's like, you don't be insane that AM4 ends up selling more than AM5, which is a high possibility. I mean, everything will end up being cheaper to get on AM4, because the RAM pricing, obviously, it doesn't seem that great of pricing when we just saw the Kingston 64 gigabytes. We thought that was DDR5. They went $600 for 64 gigabytes, which makes no sense at all. So I built my PC. I don't care. That's a good thing. You want to keep it that way. Just hope everything is working. So I told him last time I'd go with the 5060 if that was my choice. But if he doesn't care about the LSS and stuff, like he said, then AMD's GPU will give you more raster. Exactly. Now, if anybody is Rugal, great to see you. Now, if anybody is building a PC and you're truly building it for gaming, AMD's RX 9070 XT is a great option to go. I mean, we put it together and you see how well the benchmarks are. Now, you don't have to pair with a 9950X3D2. It just happened to pair with it, and that was the vote. Everybody wanted to see the 9950X3D2 instead of like something like a 9600X. But you get the idea. Most of the work comes from the GPU when it comes to it anyway. So the 9070 XT is still a very formidable GPU, especially for those who want to build a PC. So I told him last time I'd go with the 5060. That was my choice, but he doesn't care. Yes, read that. Hidden Bull. I want a 5090 bad. I have the money, but I don't think it's worth that much. I would pay 1500. Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to get your hands on a 5090 for 1500. But you know what's insane? Think about like the whole RTX 4090. If you were part of it, like if you originally, yeah, hey, 9070 XT is great. Hidden could certainly tell you about it. He can tell you how great the 9070 XT is. In fact, I gotta make a video on just the reason why I think it's still, to me, it's probably the best performance. Not probably, it is the best performance to value GPU that you can get out there. To me, it's more of the fairest and definitely belongs onto the top of the list when it comes to gaming GPUs. And the reason being is because you cannot beat its pricing. It's still under $1,000. Most GPUs that you would get that even are closely related to it, you still have to pay over $1,000 for those GPUs. It matches nearly to a RTX 5070 Ti. So I think you could start a universal tech review. You got a lot of depth on products, and while most people just give their bias sponsor, yes, I thought about that. Honestly, I thought about that. I thought about just branching out too, but that would be soon. I would probably start branching out like once I build up this channel to so many, and then I would start focusing on something like that. But I do like that idea, Blue Lily. 100% agreed. It's the go-to card right now. So Kami Kaxi says, if you want a 5090 without overpaying that much, what I'm going to do is buy a high-end pre-built PC, and that's the best way. Yeah, that's true. You definitely would be better off buying a pre-built PC. You'd probably pay like pretty much a 5090 build. Like phones. Yeah, I definitely get that, Blue. It's funny because I actually just got this in from Newegg. I'll definitely take a look at this. If you guys are curious, it just came in thanks to Newegg. Is the DT900 Pro X. And I was actually looking for these. I asked for these specifically because I wanted to check out the because they're open and the ear headphones. And the reason why they're important, especially when it comes to gaming or acoustics, when it comes to music, it actually sounds a lot better when you listen to open-ended headphones compared to closed-ended headphones, because the sound will sound more natural compared to sounding closed off. So, and you're able to hear, like if someone was calling your name with these headphones on, you can hear them compared to something that is like noise canceling. So I think this is a great choice. I know Better Dynamics also has the DT700 for those who prefer closed, but I feel these are a bit more better when it comes to more competitively because it feels natural. It feels like you're really truly hearing sound, whether if it's from behind you or in front of you. So I'm really excited to test these out once we get a chance. So um it I love my 9070 XT. Absolutely. I mean, it's such an underrated GPU. It truly is. It's surprisingly just yeah, that's and a lot of the tests that I was running with the RX 9070 XT, it was with ray tracing. A lot of them were. Even Cyberpunk, there's only but I couldn't set it to max. Obviously, I couldn't set it to the point of path tracing because that's where it does struggle a bit, honestly. But when it comes to ray tracing, it does not have trouble to it. It still ray traces really well. It can almost ray trace to the point where it's pretty much competitive when it comes to the RTX 5070 Ti. So it absolutely does great. So how much were those? I think for a set of these, I believe they are around that $300 range for this headset. So I don't think they have a mic. This one doesn't have a mic with it, so you would have to put an attachable mic if you wanted a mic and headphone sets. But they do have kits to where you can plug in a mic for it as well. But I'll let you guys know once this is opened up. I'll definitely make a video on it for those who are curious that are looking for a headset. And the good thing about these, what makes them solid, is that these aren't like your typical Bluetooth, or it isn't. You get the true audio sound because you still have your 3.5 audio jack that actually comes with this. Now, I feel bad about not having a 5090 because nobody knows. Nobody I know has one either. Hey, don't feel too bad. Not too many people do. The only people that I do know that have 5090s are on here on the internet. Really, I don't know anybody personally except the only exceptions, because of that wouldn't be fair, is of course there's other content creators that have it too, but I'm not going to put them on the list. I'm talking about just like your average Joe, just your regular person having a 5090. That is not very common. I don't know anyone, honestly, that has a 5090 willingly. Most people have either a 5070 Ti, 9070 XT. Yeah, even people at Micro Center that I talk to that talk about their builds, they don't even have a 5090. So I'm rocking the Steel Series 5 times. Can it pay? Oh yeah, 1080p. Good question. If it can run on path tracing, I wouldn't do it. It's still kind of not generalization. It's still a generation behind. when it comes to pad tracing. But I wouldn't be surprised if once they come out with the RDNA 5, that it would be able to start to do pad tracing. I think that's where the focus is going to be, especially for up and coming generations. So I'm using ASRock Challenger 9070 XT, and it does great on cooling and was very inexpensive for what it is. So I'm also using ASRock. I don't remember the exact model. Okay, it's the ASRock Challenger probably, because that's the one that we did, the ASRock Challenger or the ASRock Taichi RX 9070 XT. So Amir says I got the Logitech Astro A50. Hey, they're great. I might get the Arctic Nova Elite. Arctis. They're great headphones. Great choice. Yes. They're awesome, actually. Actually, when I did a headset review, that was like one of the ones I looked at, and they are great. They come with they even come with a mixer. The Astro A50X, they come with the mixer too, the Mixamp Pro, and I actually still use it. I actually still have a Gen 1 Mixamp Pro that I've just been rocking out for a long time. Yes, there's a lot of them that can get the 5090 free, and there's some that actually spend the money because they feel like they have to show it to the channel. Um, so unfortunately, like even like me, I had to pay for the 5090 in order for me to really look at it, to compare it, to give a true, honest review. Now I can attempt to get a 5090. I probably, if I worked hard enough, I'm pretty sure I could get one. But again, that's not the, I want to give the most fair and non-biased opinion when it comes to the products. And I tell a lot of the companies that I do work with, like, I don't want to get a product and pretty much just talk all the great things about the product, because that's not fair for anyone, especially that they're going to end up buying this product. You want to know everything about it. So I'm not just going to put some fairy dust on it and just say it's a great product. It needs a true, honest review, and that's why that's why I had to talk about the whole 9950 XRD2. We had to look over it to see what it truly was. Yes, it's a great CPU, but of course it does have its faults. It's very expensive, and it's great at resolving scheduling, but I don't think it's worth $900 for that. So the Predator 2000, I said the Predator, the Pred 2009. At this rate, DDR6 RAM will be cheaper than DDR5. Uh, that's questionable. That's, I think what would happen is DDR6 would go up drastically because everyone's going to go for DDR6. Servers are going to pretty much, well, technically, everyone's thinking it's DDR5, right? That they're ended up purchasing. They're purchasing the wafers so they can use the technology for whatever they want. More than likely, they already have DDR6, because usually when it comes to business and enterprise, they're like usually generations ahead compared to the consumer side. Um, but I still feel it's going to be expensive. So no, I have not tried a mirror. I've saw it. I'm really excited about it. They released it yesterday for anyone that's a big fan of Resident Evil Requiem. If you want to play it, it is free to download, so make sure you download it. I'm really curious. Did I want to play as it's, I think it's called Leon's, what was it? Leon's Last Stand or something like that. And so it's pretty much like it falls back to Resident Evil 4, like where they have like the survival mode, I believe. Yes, DDR6 is supposed to release by 2028. G6 has been around since 2000, the 2020 series practically. We've had it for a while. Just yes, of course. Bold if you assume that DDR6 is going to be held for AI, then go. Yes, yeah, exactly. It's a fantastic game. Oh yeah, you got to play it. Leon Must Die. That's it. That's exactly what it's called. Leon Must Die. Thank you. 1080 Ti had G6. Yes. I mean, technically they're working on they have G7, right? So all of this is technically already available. It's just not available on the consumer side. It's more enterprise side. So it's always been around. Like that's why they talk about things like, I don't know if you guys heard that they already have PCI Express 8. That's pretty much on its way for 2027, I think it is. Yes, so 2027, I think that they're supposed to release it, and it goes insanely fast. But the thing is, it's like again, we don't even truly use the full potential of even PCI Express 5 right now. Yes, no G5. Yes, no GDDR5X on 1080. So expect, but I truly believe when it comes to the next generation, let's go ahead and switch over here. So I truly believe when it comes to the next generation, when it comes to the whole G7, it's going to end up coming out with a faster G7 with the 60 series when it comes with NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA, I think, will completely skip out on the Super Series because Super Series is now going to be pretty much in it non-existent anymore. I think it's going to fade out. I think we're just going to go jump straight to the 60 series, not at Computex. I don't think we're going to see it till the end of the year. And expect it to be a very hot commodity once they start releasing it. So they released a program called the Enlargement Pill for a 1080 Ti that can use G6. I used it for mining. That makes sense. So we are, oh yeah, we're on G7. We are on G7 for the past year already. So it was for mining Ethereum. And yes, that was a big thing. Remember, NVIDIA actually came out with GPUs where they were specific on for mining. But they only came out with that one generation, and it was during the 30 series, I believe it was. And that was it. They didn't really produce more after it. And it was because the encryption was becoming more harder and more and wasn't so easy. But wait till they start encrypting or decrypting when it comes to actually using quantum computing, because that's going to be a whole different story. That's when you're going to see cryptocurrency like really move in a sense. But again, not to hype up all you crypto guys out there, but I would certainly see a change in cryptocurrency then, especially quantum computing becomes more available, so to say. So if we get a 60 series, the 60 series again would more than likely come at the end of this year if they do release it. If they don't have the availability now, that's the thing. If they don't have the availability when it comes to the hardware, I wouldn't expect it till the following year. It might not be till 2027. Do you own multiple phones? I want to know if there's anything that you can find that iOS can. Yeah, I mean, I have Samsung. I've used, of course, iPhone. I've used the HTC. I've used a lot of different brands, but I can tell you, what are you looking for specifically in a phone? I know that's like way different, way off the topic, but what are you looking for? Hidden Bull caused the mining shortage on GPUs. Get him. You know who have you guys ever seen that, the BMW where they had all the mining GPUs in back of it, all 3090s? I'll show it to you real quick. I'll Google it real quick. BMW. I have this big secret to tell you here. Let's see, 3090 mining images. Let's see if we can find it right here. I don't know if you guys seen this before, but he built a whole mining rig in his BMW. That was Hidden Bull right there. No, I'm kidding. That wasn't really Hidden Bull. I do blame crypto for the prices that we are seeing on everything. It is partially true. Did you hear that worker memory companies are going on strike for bonus pay? I heard inklings of it. I haven't really got into it, but that would make sense though. Rugal says, what's your opinion on cam RAM? Do you think it will eventually replace the PC? I think, honestly, when it comes to cam RAM, I feel like it's going to be like a phase. It's going to be one of those quick phases. People are going to like it at first, but then they're going to quickly realize how inconvenient it is. They're going to realize how inconvenient it is to actually install cam. Because it's like, again, it's like an SSD. RAM's so easy. You can just push it in and it clicks, right? But when it comes to cam, it's easy too, but you actually have to unscrew it and actually put it back in. So I could see it being more popular on laptops. That's what it was originally created for. It wasn't created for desktops, but now they are pushing it for desktops for more use. Battery performance durability, because I'm really clumsy. Okay, so battery endure. Okay, I'm not biased when it comes to any of these electronic companies. So I do have to say this though, to be honest with Lily. Um, now iPhone has phenomenal battery. The iPhone 17 is really great when it comes to the battery. Now the next closest thing that comes to it is going to be Samsung. So if you prefer a Android device, I believe the S26 Ultra would be your best bet if you want to go for the most extended battery and most toughness. In fact, it even has glass on there to where it's pretty much keeps it invulnerable. So I would go Samsung S26 Ultra if that were the case. So I do hate crypto for wasting hardware and electricity, but I love AI. Like it probably. That sounds about right. I absolutely hate seeing people buying a really good GPU and then just put them in a metal crypto bot. Yeah, and that happens. I mean, they're doing it with AI as it is now. So what specs can I get with 1,000 USD? Oh, I mean, if you're trying to do a PC build, I mean, it can happen. It still can happen. You can 100% still build. If we go ahead and we go to let's take a look. If we were to build like $1,000 PC. Now, what I would go for and I would aim for, because I'm assuming you probably don't have a Micro Center near you. Zenfone's a great phone too, but yeah, it's because the selling they haven't sold enough, and the ROG phone was like a really nice phone. It's a shame that they didn't really push that phone as much as we would like to. So you would go over to, let's say, PC Builder here, and there goes a kit right here. Now, if you're really truly tight on budget here, they have this AMD Ryzen 5 5500 ASRock B450M and a Corsair Vengeance LP, probably 16 gigabytes, I would assume. Let me see. No, it's 32 gigabytes. So something like this. This combo here is $330. So say we add that to the cart, right? Well, say we go build with it. Okay, so we have this. Now we're going to pick the GPU. So Batman requires 16 gigabytes, minimum 32 gigabytes for Ultra. Makes sense. Southstar, what's up? Great that you came in, because I don't know if you got to see Hidden Bull's ride. Remember that famous BMW? This is Hidden Bull right here. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I heard that they're doing Prime Day earlier this year, sometime in June. Is it true? Right as of now, I can't say for certain, but as soon as I find out, I will let you know. I will check my emails. As soon as I find something out, I will certainly let you guys know. If you're on Discord, I'll update you guys on there too. So if you guys are a part of the Discord server, make sure to join in. I usually update and talk to the guys on there if you have any questions at all, especially something like this. You want to do a PC build. Now, let's actually look for a 3070. It can't be that much, right? Of course, that's like my worst wording there, but let's look up 3070, see if they got any. They got the Paladin RTX 3070, 8 gigabytes. I'm assuming you're gaming at 1080, right? So because we're going on a real strict budget, like let's just go Paladin, right? It's only $325. So you could get this GPU. So far we have $645. So that's like, those are the more expensive components right there. Dude, I could put a mining rig in my Prius. Yes. Oh man, that sounds right. That sounds about right. Hey, you know what? Do that and then take a photo, and then we can upload it and we'll blow it up. I know it would do well. It would 100% do well. Let me see. Oh, getting spam calls. Wonderful. All right, so let's select a case for this. Now, we can get a very cheap case. In fact, Cooler Master's Master Box here, you can get it for $40. Let's get the, let's see, DIY. How about that? Fantex XT Pro. How about that Fantex XT Pro? Give you some room. It's $60. Great case. We could throw that in there. Onboard graphics is an option. That is true too. It is, but I mean, look how cheap this is. This is still, you're getting a dedicated GPU, and so far we only got $705. So yes, even in 2026, it is possible. You just can't expect the newest and the greatest of everything. Will a 3070 fit in the Okino's Aqua 3? Depends on which one, because they're all different sizes here. Thank you for subscribing, Mark R. So let's go ahead and add the power supply. You're not going to obviously need a ton of power for something like that. You could get away with the CX750 if you want. Let's go, or even the ASRock Pro Series 750, only $55. Now we're like, if you're in a super tight budget, again, these are all decent PSUs here. They're not from Alibaba. They're not any of those type of PSUs. Newegg usually is very reputable when it comes to their products here. So again, everything that you see in the red is because it's on for a deep sale. In fact, it comes with a CPU air cooler with the purchase, so you could use the built-in air cooler if you want. And all we need is storage. We're well under budget. Now we could even, we're gonna have to go at, this is the tricky part. We're gonna go SSD. Now, the best one we can get is, let's see. We got to be really careful here because SSDs are very expensive right now. They got the Patriot P300. It's PCIe. What? That is pretty slow. All right, let's go ahead and flip this around. I'm going to play eSport titles like CS2, so I'm need some stock. Lian Li Vector Vivo. That's a great case. Awesome case. Oh no. That's the wrong side of the price, Newegg. We don't want to look for a $7,000 SSD. Flip it around. Come on. What are you doing? All right, so that would just blow out the budget right there. That's more expensive than a friggin' 5090. Okay, they got the time tag. We want at least 1 terabyte. 1 terabyte at the minimum. That's an awesome case for the price. Yes. I gotta say, Lian Li gives you so much for so little, you know? They give you so much product for so little pricing. That's what you gotta love about them. Go to Passmark, pick the hard drive benchmarks, pick the on the first page. Oh, okay. Not a bad choice. And we could probably get it for a decent deal, right? Let's go with hidden device here. Let's go to Passmark and go to the benchmark page. So we'll go to Passmark and hard drive benchmarks. So I'm assuming, let's go ahead. Right here. And we're going to look best value drive chart. There you go. Kingston 500 gigabyte. There you go. They're saying this one. So we're going to look it up. I like this. I like this idea. Great idea. See, that's why Hidden Bull has a BMW. All right, so let's go ahead and look this up. Yeah, it's cheap with fans in RGB also. Absolutely. Curious, it's already happening as it is. And you got to look at Trident's RGB Neos. Their collection here. They don't have it. Okay, that's okay. We got other options here. Let's see the CT1000s. Curious which one this is. No RGB. We got a budget. There we go. Okay, so this is it. So we can spend 173. Again, 1 terabyte is a lot, but hey, it's a decent price though. And let's view the cart now. So in total, what the hell? Where did I mess up at here? We just had our cart here. Let me go back. I think I threw it off. Here we go. So we got to go to storage, SSD, and right here. Okay, so I'm going to have to look for it like this then. Okay, so it won't pair with that, but it was a Patriot, right? What was it? A Patriot again, right? Just shows you how great my memory is now. Crucial's P310. That's what it was. You know, that's a very popular SSD. Let's see. Crucial P3. Here it is. They got the SD8. That one's SD10. Yeah, this is it. Okay, perfect. 880, no. Yes. 269. Damn. That is crazy how expensive it is. Okay, let's go here. So, Xiaomi's Poco X8 Pro is currently regarding as the phone with the best battery life. I have it. It's great if you're clumsy away. There you go. Hey, talk to Rugal. He knows it. But the only thing is it depends your location. Because here in the US, we're unable to get something like that. So let's go ahead and go 1 terabyte. Unfortunately, that's over budget. That's just how expensive that SSD is. So what we will do, okay, so we'll throw that out. So let's do this again one more time here. Instead, we're going to pick SSD. We're going to reset this. And then we're going to go to the lower side. And then we're going to select, again, we're not looking for Synology's 7000 SSD here. They really want us to buy that one, don't they? So let's go down here. Okay, so this is 128 gigabytes. We don't want that. We want to go 1 terabyte. Looks like a mechanical drive. It does. I know technically it does, but that's probably a SATA SSD. That's probably a server grade SSD. I would assume that, or it's like a U2. It could be a U.2. Because they could be. They have a ton of storage, but again, expensive. 540. This is all SATA. Let's see, PCI Express 3. Damn, it's really expensive, man. SSDs are really expensive right now. Team Group MS30. Now, these aren't really even all that fast. Well, this one's decent. This is PCI Express 3. 1 terabyte. Okay, let's go back up a little bit. See what else we can have. They have King Spec. Again, SATA. So the best honest opinion, best choice to go with would be, let's go with Team Groups MS30. No, not Team Groups. Honestly, we're going to have to go with PMYs here. The CS22230. That would probably be the best choice. We're selling a 2070 Super for $535. Yeah, of course. That is insane. I still use SATA drive. They're great drives. There's nothing wrong with them. Okay, so we did it. We built a PC. Now, if you're wondering where's the fan, it is with this AMD Ryzen 5 5500. But yeah, this is a full PC for $910. So yes, it's 100% possible. You can't say you can't build the PC for under $1,000. Yes, you can. Here it is. This is it. This is the proof. Now, it might not game at 4K, obviously. It's not gonna. It might struggle even at 1440. You might be able to get away with it somewhat if you really lower the graphics. But again, very possible. You still can build a PC for $910. This is the, oh, my fault. Let me try to grab the browser so you guys can see, but that's the price there. $910, guys. So $910, we were able to get this PC. Yeah, exactly. Great 1080p system. Yes, that's going to be a stretch. Trying to reach at 4K for $1,000. And I know there's going to be guys out there that's going to say, oh, but if you spend $1,000 for a PS5 Pro, you can get 4K. It's not 4K. I hate to break it to you. It's not 4K. That's just upscaling. That's just 1080p upscaled massively. There you go. I have $1,000. So for anyone that is looking to build a PC in 2026 and you're super desperate, and you're like, how the hell can I build a PC if RAM's so expensive? And this is proof. It can be done. And there's RAM right there. We're spending $219.99, but nevertheless, it is DDR4, but it still will perform great. Make sure to have a hybrid. Yes. You can get a PS5 Pro like for $800. It's much better. It's much better than this PC. It could be the. I gotta say, I'll probably run pretty close. And that's going to be the 37. It's the same generation, probably similar. I would say pretty similar. I would say yeah, PS5 Pro might have its highlights on certain things, but this PC may be pretty similar. AM4 is where I would look for, yes, absolutely. You can get away with it cheap. Now, if you're curious, now let's compare this. That's a great question. We'll compare this graphics right here. Now you compare it to something like a PS5 Pro, right? Graphics. I believe the PS5 Pro, I'll show you PS5 Pro specs. Now we want to go here and we want to go to specifications. We don't want this. Let's go to tech power up. There you go. So it uses Viola, and these are the current specifications for the Pro. It uses 3840 cores. Now, if we were to set this next to it, let's look tech power up. The 325 is secondhand market for the 3070. No, that's actually, I think that's being sold straight from Paladin. PS5 is too high for all the extras. And that, you know, it doesn't even come with the stand. If you want to stand up to PS5, you actually got to stand it. It's like a 9068 non-XT. That's why it's power limited. So, okay, so now, warning, you are viewing unverified. We're not looking for the BIOS. We just want the specs. Okay, so I want, okay, let's see, right here. This is what we're looking for. So this is it. The RTX 3070. Now, it features 5,888 cores. Remember that. Versus 3,840 cores. You have 240 TMUs versus 184. So it beats it in TMUs. ROPs is at 96 versus 64. Now, the memory size is obviously bigger. That's its advantage there, of course. You have G6, and they both run on 256-bit bus. So it's really, really close if you put them next to each other like that. So that tells you I can actually compete with a PS5 Pro technically if you want to. Now, you guys can certainly debate on it, whether if it's worth building a PC for $1,000 for that price compared to a PS5 Pro. So let me know what you guys think of that. Would you rather get a PS5 Pro or would you rather build a PC with something like this? Now, of course, it's not going to be the best in line GPU. A PS5, there you go. A PS5 will never run Linux, which is true. Hell no, PC all the way. So isn't that insane? So of course you just have the VRAM. So here, you know what? I'm going to throw up the poll for you guys. You guys can certainly go for it. And the poll will be, would you PS5 or PS5 Pro or now this PC is what, 907? Let me get the price directly correct so that way you guys can PS5 can run a Linux on GitHub. There you go. Let's see. And this PC we built was $910.95 or $910 PC, I'll just say. So you can take a vote on that. And just give me a moment since this is a custom poll here. So you can put the vote on which one you would pick out. So you put one or two. Gamer Nexus had a oh really? Oh, that's kind of ironic. That's funny. Funny that we ended up talking about that. There you go. So you would definitely pick the PC. So would you get the PS5 Pro? I don't know about Windows. That's, you know, it's funny. You know what pretty much blew up? I put up a poll on X, if you guys got to see it, was how many people out there would go with a Steam OS or would you end up picking out Windows? And a good majority of people would go with Windows. I mean, with Steam OS. So it just shows you how people feel about Windows 11 as it is. Yes, I managed to get the Steam controller, but unfortunately it will not arrive until Wednesday. So until it comes here, we're going to fully take a look at this full breakdown of this controller and see how well it ends up running. So would be so funny. You know, honestly, this would make a great video. Like building this PC and of course then, you know what's crazy? But then, of course, if you guys want to put into it, you can super chat it, and that's going to be, but not for this. This is for that Threadripper build. We got $5, guys. We got $5 so far. PC, no brainer. Yeah, so many guys definitely would pick out the PC. For me, I got more friends on PlayStation, so ooh. Do you dare put the one? Awful Skater, do you dare put that one? Do you want to be the defiant one there? But if I have more friends playing on PC, I'd probably get that. That would be your deciding factor. With PCs, you have more free to play options. I like how you put that. Now I got to really watch my language here, thanks to TikTok. So you can save over the long run compared to a console. $5 for the win. There you go. There you go. $5. We got $5, guys. We need to get up to 7,000. We made $5 so far. Whatever gets donated into this stream will go towards the Threadripper build. But will it run Crysis? That's a great question, actually. We would have to see how well it would run Crysis. In fact, we can take a look at the specifications. Now, the trick is it going to be Crysis remastered, or is it going to be the original Crysis? If it's Crysis remastered, it might sweat a little bit. So what's my opinion? So I feel SteamOS is a excellent OS. It's great. It's really easy to use for anyone that strictly wants to use their PC for gaming. But there is some issues that I do have with it. Now, the main issues that I have with SteamOS is that it's not going to be 100% compatible with every single game that you play on Steam. Now, you'll play a good majority of them. It'll be great for that. Now, one of the negatives that I certainly do have, like most of the games that feature anti-cheats in there, they are not typically compatible when it comes to SteamOS. Like Arc Raiders has issues if you want to play on SteamOS. If you want to play Battlefield 6, you're unable to play on SteamOS. And again, this is mostly because of the anti-cheats that they have. So it is great in a sense that you can play Steam games on there, and it runs really good. And some games even run better than on PC. But again, it's great to dual boot, I think, at its current state. But I don't think it's 100% great to actually run it every single day and use it even as a gaming PC. Who said show show yourself? Oh no, Waffle Skater. And some so at least the majority. So anybody that's coming in, would you end up picking a $910 PC over a PS5 Pro? I would certainly love to know the reason. There he is. There he is in the flesh there. There's always one in the bunch. It's got to be. There's always going to be that one guy. And that one guy is unfortunately Waffle Skater. But hey, he has his reasons. I guess he has his friends on PS5. But I do get it. But remember, a lot of games now are multi-platform. So you can, not multi-platform, that they're cross-platform. So you're able to still play with your games. Like Helldivers 2 is a perfect example. Still play with their Helldivers 2 friends on PC and on PS5. So I believe Micro Center offers bundles, RAM, CPUs, and yeah, absolutely. Now, if anybody has a Micro Center, that's a great alternative. Right now, we just built a kit for most people that don't have a Micro Center near them. You can build this wonderful kit for under $1,000 easily. Even if there's taxes on there, it's still good. It should be maybe just touching $1,000 in some places, but should be, play on. Yeah, we just had one open up in my area. Oh, that's awesome. Are you in the Arizona location? I gotta say, or are you in California? Because California just had one open up too. I know those two locations just had one. But if you guys are curious, I will show you Micro Center. But in fairness, I listed my reasons. In reality, I have a PS5 and 2 kick-ass PCs. So my answer in the poll doesn't mean anything. If I wanted a Pro, I'd get one already. It's not worth the money. Yes, in Phoenix, I figured. You hearing that? And that's not there. You got another one. So anyway, if you look at Micro Center deals, now if you're looking for anything specifically, if you're looking for a certain budget, feel free to let us know. We could definitely take a look and try to build a PC fully for however you're looking to spend. Now, if you're looking for AMD build, you can get one obviously for a good deal, and same thing with Intel. Now, if you're looking for AMD has some great builds when it comes to again, 5,500, $200. So you get a $200 bundle, pretty much really similar to actually the one we looked at Newegg, except this one's the B550 instead of the B450. Now, of course, if you want to go AM5, you spend a little bit more. You can spend $150 more. You get the 7600X. You get a $350. You get the 7600X with the B650E, so it's a bit more modern. If you want to update your processor in the near future, you can. You easily could. It's upgradable to AM6, most of them at least. Not AM6, and not AM6, but Zen 6. Sorry about that. I just need a GPU with this point. Yeah, exactly. That's why I had to bring it up. The $200 RAM special end already. Can't remember how long ago it was. I believe it has, but we could definitely look to see if it's happening. Summer Game Fest is coming up June 5th. Thank you for reminding us, Amir. What if you bought a case, PSU or something else you can buy that the RAM is cheaper? I mean, you could. And there's been ideas already thrown around. I don't know if I was telling you guys. In fact, that ASUS was actually thinking, one of the companies like ASUS, they were thinking that they were going to integrate like RAM, like 16 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigabytes of RAM, pretty much standard on a motherboard, maybe 16 gigabytes because it's cheaper. So if they embed the DRAM actually into the motherboard, that's one less struggle you actually have. You have some basic RAM built into the into your motherboard. Of course, you can add expansions in there. It's not just going to be limited to 16 gigabytes. You can actually expand on the 16 gigabytes if you like. The tricky part is getting the compatible RAM. Of course, when you do pre-install RAM such as that, you're going to have specific timing that works with that specific DRAM chip. So that would have to be specified and very specific for those who are thinking of expanding on a 16 gigabyte motherboard. But I think it would be a great idea. It would work great on AMD motherboards because, of course, you have the Vcache that you can take full advantage of already as it is when it comes to those PCs. And and for Intel, it could happen, but Intel's a bit it would be a lot quicker, responsive because it's already in the motherboard itself. There's no need for it to transfer from the actual DDR5 slots, so it can be quicker in that sense. So I wouldn't put the 5500 unless you really are on a tight budget because it's on PCI Express 3. Oh goody! So if my motherboard dies, does that mean the RAM dies as well? It might be okay. You just have to you probably just have to unsolder it. You probably just have to remove the solder and remove the RAM out of the motherboard. And that's it. It can be done. It certainly can be if you have experienced soldering and desoldering. But they do have great kits. So if you're looking for a AMD kit, they have this kit, the $350 bundle. One of my personal favorite ones is going to have to be more on the 7600 X3D bundle, which is at $350, and you get a B650E Max motherboard. Of course, the only thing is it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Of course, you spend a little bit more, you get the better kit. Now, what's recently been going on sale a bit more is the 9800 X3Ds. Now, unfortunately, they haven't went under that $400 level just quite yet, but you can get it for a decent price. So, any ITX case recommendations for a full tower air cooler? Interesting. So, oh, really? That's a good. I'll get to Amir's article here. It looks like a very interesting article about PlayStation 6 launch timing. And Liam Lee launches Hydro Shift 2 OLED curved. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. It's going to be exciting, but then again, it's not going to be exciting for some because again, hardware is expensive. And it's been proven, and I'm just going to reiterate real quick for anybody that's just coming in that ASUS, MSI, Gigabytes, ASRock, all your favorite motherboard manufacturers are pretty much saying that a lot of these companies are currently suffering right now. It's very hard for them to survive because they know that there's a reduction, at least about between 23% as high as up to 36% of when it comes to losing PC builders. There's not as many out there because it's just so expensive. Exactly, Steven. That's exactly the problem. It's just everything is expensive. So they're losing builders, they're losing people that are wanting to build PCs anymore. It's expensive to pick up RAM. The SSDs are absolutely insane. In fact, it was so insane. I had less trouble finding a decent GPU for that Newegg build that we put together and more trouble actually finding a decent SSD for a fair price. So that just shows you how truly and crazy everything is now. So ASUS launches ROG XG120. Yeah, they did that just yesterday. And the RTX 4080 and the 7900 XEX for native 4. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, fair air quotes. Yeah, fair pricing, right? Fair. Okay, so now, if you were to purchase RAM, the key is you want to look for something like this. You want to look for something like this on the top corner up there and where it says bundle and save. So make sure you bundle your kit. Something like this is okay. So that's okay. So this is a consistent jump up back and forth here. Now it's saying that it's 454 for CH32 gigabytes. That makes absolutely no sense because I'm pretty sure that we can get this a lot cheaper. In fact, if you look at the 32 gigabytes and let's see a 30 CL30 380s, you see how that makes absolutely no sense? That you can get it for cheaper. Yes, it doesn't have RGBs, but this is a much more ideal memory for many people out there that are trying to get RAM. It's still under $400, so it's a bit more fair. So this is something you would aim for. That made no sense. CL36 for $454 because it had RGBs. That would be a waste. New egg door busters go live in 30. There we go. Back in 2023, I upgraded my hardware. The 64 gigabytes of RAM I got was only $189 at the time. Today, the same RAM I got is yes, it's insane. It just doesn't make any sense. And I just looked at some RAM. It's hard to truly believe that you can actually get RAM that was under $100. What if I told you back of September of 2020, back of September of 2025, not that long ago, that we were able to get RAM for $90.99, not $999, $90.99. And this was for 6,000 megahertz of CL36, and this was for some Corsair Vengeance with the RGBs and under $100. So I don't know if it even works because I took memory out of it. Really? Uh, yeah, I'm curious if it still works. Uh, that's one question. Now, here's a price that you don't see every day. I actually still got it sitting in the drawer because it's like a collector's item at this point. I'm actually afraid to install it in anything. I was actually going to make a video on it, and I just never did. I never had the time, never had the chance. Mike, what's up? Never had a chance to put it in. Don't remind me of September 20. I know. It's terrible, right? Really terrible when you think about it. So here it is. I'm going to pull something out my wonderful drawers here. I accidentally turned on one of the PCs there. So here it is. Now, I'm going to show you it without the price. All right. This isn't even the price that I paid for it anyway, just to add on there. But as you know, this is sitting in my drawer. And you know how expensive this is now. 2 terabytes of 9100 Pro, right? And they had a sale on Amazon on this. So you want to know how much I paid for this? Now, it looks cheap as it is now. Because I actually paid cheaper than this. I paid under the pricing. It was actually $100 off. So this tag is not even accurate. But here it is. That was the price I paid. I could actually look up the tag and see how much of it. It's crazy to see that type of price, right? On something like this now. It sounds like it don't exist. But this was at Micro Center. And I actually paid $200 for it at the time. So it's bad when you have to resort to buying new stuff to. Yeah, it's really bad. It's bad when you're going to the office and you think about taking the RAM or taking an SSD out of their PCs, because it's like, well, they'll never notice if I swap out the RAM or I swap out the SSD. And if you just be like, oh yeah, you just go to your regular day at the office and you're like, yeah, for some reason my PC won't start and it says operating system not found. Can you imagine that? You think it comes to the resorting, taking SSDs out of your work PC. Bottom bin RAM there. So I have that C drive and I paid $240. 240 euros. Pounds. I'm sorry, not euros. 240 pounds. Lucky price it in the UK. Absolutely. Oh man, the crazy thing is, they're supposed to be having this air show that's coming up in a bit, and I hear that all the jets is flying over, so that's gonna be dope. I definitely gotta catch it. It's funny that you mentioned that a company laptop SSD is still. Yeah. There's gonna be a lot. They're like, it's going to. There's going to be like a lot of workplace robberies at this point. They're all going to downgrade to PCI Express 3. Everyone's going to end up taking PCI Express 4 or PCI Express 5 out of their companies now. Oh, man. But it's rough. It really is. And guys, be careful when you're looking at these kits. Because, again, you can look at something like this. DDR5 6000 megahertz for CL36 for 454. That's not the right price for it. You shouldn't be paying more than $400 for a kit like this. Even at Micro Center, you want to hit the CL30, and this is actually a much more better deal. Who cares about the RGBs? You can get it for $380 because, again, this is a much more faster and much more responsive kit than you would get compared to the original.
Tony Haymonkits became a member.
Oh, Tony, welcome back.
2 months of membership. I'm just glad my builds are done. I have no need 64G.
Yeah. I like how the bot said 64G. But anyway, yes, 64 gigabytes is absolutely not necessary. But I'm sure everybody has feelings about how Microsoft stated it, about how they said 16 gigabytes is like the bare necessity for you to, in order for you to enjoy gaming, and that 32 gigabytes is like the standard, like you should have 32 gigabytes. And they were quick to pull back that pricing. Ensure you update the firmware for the 9100 Pro. Not long ago, Samsung really, yes, that is true. So for anyone that has the 9100, I'm glad Amir brought this up because that is true. The 9100 Pro does have updated firmware, and a lot of their Samsung drives do. So if you do own a Samsung drive, make sure to update the firmware. Use the Samsung wizard that it comes with. You can, it doesn't usually come with it actually. You have to download it. You have to download it from their website and you can update it. So the CPU board RAM bundles reflect the real pricing of RAM. Individual kits, price gouging is not meant for the pay for the PC kit overage. There is no shortage, but access to allocations withholding. So why would one want 128 gigabytes of RAM? So the only people that are going to require that much RAM are those who are more into like things like video editing, or you're into things like AI, or if you're into things like a more server grade type of tech. That would be those who would take advantage of 128 gigabytes. Now, of course, if you're gaming, it'd be really pointless. It would be just empty space not being used up. So I can understand 64 gigabytes. I frequently, yes, 64 gigabytes, like especially if you're pushing 4K or even higher. Like if you're trying to push 5K, 6K, yes, it can start to reach that range. Of course, Microsoft did state that if you are using pretty much a GPU that has a bit more of VRAM space, of course, you won't require as much RAM as 32 gigabytes because then you have enough space to kind of fill in that void. So now it says I run AI and render effects in Blender. 128 gigabytes is bare minimum, and yes, I pay the current prices. So 128 gigabyte RAM for a large application task, model sims, and database of various sorts. And Ellis, I forgot to tell you. Did you get to see it? Like I posted your clip onto, like I embedded it with the Batman clip, and I put it with your clip that you put on Discord. I gotta say, it was great putting those two together. I was going to upload it to YouTube, but you know how YouTube gets about like when it comes to certain aspects, when it comes to trailers, how they'll say it's a copyright. But so I didn't post it on YouTube, but it is up on TikTok. I did post it up on X, and I also put it up on Instagram as well. So I would have 64 gigabytes, just the sound of 32. Yes, virtual machines eats up. Yes, absolutely. So anybody that's just coming in, I do have to mention that we got $5. Yay, we got we got $5 for this Threadripper build. So if you guys want to super chat or want to donate for that build, I will also put the members donations funds towards this Threadripper build, and I will share what we have for the build so far. And I will consistently update you guys on Discord and on YouTube of everything that we have, just for clarity. So we do have $5, just to reiterate, to let you guys know for this Trevor. We can't even do it like we can't even do a Ryzen or AM4 build. But anyway, I video edit with Cyberlink Power Director. So do you think that Samsung is the best thing to come out of Korea? Yeah, absolutely. I think Samsung's a great company. It's insane how much they've been doing, how great their companies are. Like when it comes to oh, nice. I will put some toward the X870E Oris Elite. Nice.
Super chatted $10. I will put some toward an X870E Oris Elite.
Oh, nice, nice. There you go. I put some towards an X870E Oris Elite. Interesting. Okay. And now let's thank Chris. This is the beauty of local AI. You can make a joke, and I'll have the video rendered in under a minute. All that's awesome. I made sure to tag you in there so that way everybody knows that you were the one that were able to make the awesome clip. When paying the current price of RAM for business applications, because that you need memory, is called the Textile Biz one first degree consumer price discrimination. Avoid. I think a lot of people are pretty pissed as it is now. I think it's pretty obvious that people are not happy with the pricing. Even the large companies, ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, they're not truly happy about what's happening. They're trying to figure out solutions because they don't think this is such a ongoing thing. And of course, you've guys probably heard the rumors about how they're remaking some AM4 boards because of how expensive everything currently is. So I've got Samsung M.2 as my operating system drive and love every bit of it. Absolutely. There we go. Let me make sure I get. So oh, that's weird. I wonder why it's not coming up. So I got the, okay, nice. We see that Alex was able to get the laptop of his dreams there. And Mike says, as high price biz buyers, because you need all that RAM, it pays for itself. Ultimately, it's to all set. All other PC BD RAM kits are pretty much second degree pre-discrimination. Well, unfortunately, that is, they're pretty much pricing out consumers out for the case for AI at this point. So, so the high price buyer subsidizes the price by the second degree buyer, where the decision on the bundle is discrimination on whether the components of the bundles are wanted. So, I get what you're saying here. So what he's practically saying is that they're pretty much using it to the point of getting rid of old supply. So in order for, oh, let me take off that poll, by the way, because I know that would just end it there. I will come up with another poll in just a bit, But I get what he's saying. They're just trying, like a lot of these stores, like Micro Center, Newegg, where they're just trying to get rid of their old stock. So it's more or so just kind of giving out some of the things that they don't want to have laying around here. So the bundles have to be based on supply. So like, yes, exactly. That's you got it hidden. So that is the purpose of it. I think that's pretty much obvious. I think for a lot of people certainly know that. Like when it comes to bundles, they're just trying to get rid of what they have, and like cases like this, the as you wish boards, they're not selling as much. Whereas the Gigabyte Eagles, they don't sell as much, so it's their way of trying to let that go. So true. The entire PC wholesale kit works on bundles. Most PC kits are all of it is because everything that has to sell is all bundle deals. Exactly. So that's why you can get everything much cheaper than what it is. But at least like for people, um, even for myself, if I were to buy a kit, and the only reason why is because you know for sure that's the cheapest way you can get it. So if you were to look at this Ultra 7 265KF, which is man, it's just the 270K plus just beat its ass so bad. It's really hard to justify purchasing the 265KF at this current time. But if you wanted to get a kit, sure, you could go 265KF. But honestly, go for the 270 plus K plus. You only spend another $70 for the kits. But you get the RAM, 6400 megahertz, CL32. I'm assuming.
And Tony Haymum gets super chatted $5.
Thank you, Tony. Hey, we're getting there. We got 10. We got 10. So we got $20 now. About $20 for this build so far. Awesome. We're getting there. We'll get there. But I seriously appreciate you guys. I got a few 1 terabyte SSDs for free from Newegg because I found a sweet combo. Awesome. See, that's what you have to do. You got to find these bundle deals. You got to, especially when it comes to SSDs, because honestly, they're the worst case right now. They're actually the worst culprits compared to RAM as of now. Again, 270K plus bundle. You get this full kit. You get Crucial's 32 gigabyte kit, which should be CL32. Yes. There it is. CL32 RAM that you can get for it. And you can get the and you also get this Gigabyte Eagle board, which is actually pretty decent. Their Eagle line's not going to be really compared to their is like closer to the Arrow line. So if I was to compare Gigabyte's products, it would go Eagle and then it would go Arrow. So again, Eagle's a decent motherboard you can get with it. This is for 600. The more tricky area is certainly the SSDs because the SSDs have gone up so dramatically, and if you don't know how bad that they actually gone up, I'll share it with you. So it's bundles, deals, wells, and into the year. I'm really curious to see how ASUS's, not ASUS's, Amazon, I say ASUS's, Amazon bundles are going to be because Amazon has been starting to do that themselves, if you've noticed. Now, a lot of the bundles are actually coming from Micro Center if you pay attention to a lot of their listings, which we can definitely take a look at in a bit. But anyway, we go take a look at these solid state drives, and right then and here, we get the 2 terabyte drive. That's $289.99, and then we have the Clev Crash, which is obviously ones that they want to sell for $289.99. Now they're both at Gen 4 and still technically expensive for what it is because you should be paying for Gen 5 2 terabytes for those type of prices there. So Piranha says, got my RAM on eBay for 514 shipped G-Skill 64, 6400 megahertz CL30. That's not bad. That sounds like Crucial. Is it Crucial or Corsair also has those kits as well? The 2 pass memory tests, no errors, got lucky. That's awesome. That is really awesome because it is truly hard to get RAM for such a great deal. 514 actually sounds decent. Unfortunately, it shouldn't sound decent. So AMD and Intel actually sourced RAM for retail kits deals to assure their CPUs, and that there's a ton of surplus sell through. pulled through on memory components of bundles, so the degree of CPU margin. The crazy thing is, speaking of which, Mike, just to throw in here, you can feel free to share your thoughts about this as well, and the fact that how CPUs are supposed to also go up in price as well, and not by they're supposed to go up 10% at the minimum. So CPU pricing, we're supposed to see a price adjustment, but we haven't quite seen it. Hopefully, we don't see it. But they're supposed to be pushing up these prices because the alleged rumor or the alleged problem that they do have is that when it comes to these wafers, that these AI companies are buying up their wafers as well as the same as the DRAM and HBM and the VRAM wafers. So again, they're all pretty much one wafer. TSMC is something different. They're mostly processing wafers versus the memory wafers. So I can't believe we had a new release with prices so good that obsoletes the last gen. And when was that? Yeah, it doesn't typically happen like this. It's actually something truly bad. Literally, AMD and Intel CPUs would sit unsold without RAM and BD. Well, I mean, it truly was happening with, to be honest, with Intel's side for quite a bit. Until the 270K plus, I think that certainly changed things. And they actually refused. And I think I was telling you this too. They actually refused to sell Intel's 270K plus at Micro Center without the motherboard bundle. And that was the original day. If you guys got to see that stream, we went to the Micro Center and we went to go try to get the 270K plus, but they only were selling it in bundles. But we already had the Gigabyte Wars Master motherboard, and so obviously we didn't need the motherboard. Sure, we could have got the bundle and got it, but then it would have forced us to get them. Eventually, we would have to get a CPU anyway. So, because there's no point of having two motherboards and one CPU. But anyway, the point is, we tried to get it. They weren't able to give it to us. So they said that they didn't really receive that many CPUs. So they did have motherboards where the actual Intel 270K Plus was actually installed in the motherboard itself. So we would actually have to remove the processor and actually reinstall it into another motherboard. So, but instead we decided to be patient. I reached out to Newegg. We were able to get a 270K Plus from them, luckily. But so Mike says CPU prices increases are to pay for the future cost increases. CPU price increases ride the increases wave as an example of those willing to pay top price in first degree consumer price discrimination. So Swartz, who will pay for first like a bid on application, needs subject utility value or purchase of price. So it's kind of crazy how SSD prices were $50 per terabyte. Now it's 150. So you're getting one for the price of three. I know. It's sad. It's just terrible. So I was trying to solve a health insurance plan issue, and an AI agent got into the loop where I couldn't get to a human. AI makes God. Oh man, have you guys ever got to follow this guy? This guy's hilarious. You guys probably seen it. And there's this guy called Husk, and you guys might be familiar with him or may not be familiar, but he's hilarious. So what he does is he gets his ChatGPT, and he will just talk to it and ask for some really simple commands, like for example, counting 1 to 10. But ChatGPT will have difficulty doing so. And of course, all you guys that are into AI obviously know some of the reasons why it's unable to do that. A simple function that's counting 1 to 10. But he'll ask it things like this, and then it will pretty much completely ignore certain commands and just go about and go through its local command. So have you guys got to see Husk? It's pretty funny, like the things he would talk to AI about. So day after I ordered my 270K Plus and Strix Gaming e-board from B&H, Micro Center got the 270K Plus back in stock. But that's okay. Better deal. It makes me curious to see if they do even have it in stock, because I'm telling you, it's like they really don't like to keep it in stock. Let's see. There it is, Miami. And oh, they actually have it. 25 in stock. You get Lego Batman if you purchase a 270K Plus. So they do have it. So now here's the brass tracks Ultra 270K Plus costs between $37 and $46 for Intel to prove that. I believe it. I can believe that. There's a lot of, but what do you think about stores? Actually, Micro Center is actually selling at $300. That's the price that it was originally intended for. But when it first released, a lot of stores were actually charging 25% more. Like they were charging like $350 for the 270K plus, like when it first released, and for a while. I think Newegg still charges a little bit more actually, because I just looked at it. If I'm not mistaken here, it's actually I think 320. Yeah, 322. So they're still charging a little bit more extra for it. So they're saying you're saving $48 when you are buying it. So so Intel has a large manufacturing cost advantage, but it has a high capital expenditure, hurdling own fabs and back to its production. So Chicago had its own Westmont, Illinois. The drive-in tax would have been a lot cheaper than in Chicago. Absolutely, I would imagine. So Pixel King DX, don't be. I have several used that were laptop upgrades. I'm scared to buy. Oh, no. SSDs are actually very good when it comes to longevity. Usually they have a very low failure rate, and when it does, it's more like a freak accident when it does. Yes, Lego Batman, the reason why we all buy professional grade 24 core CPUs for. Absolutely. That's the main reason why we have to get it. And if you didn't check out that meme that I made, you got to check it out. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Is the 270K plus shippable? I believe it is. It should be, because a lot of Micro Center deals are in store only. Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, yes, that's the thing about Micro Center. Even though they say shippable, most of the time you do have to end up picking it up only in the store. So it can be a true pain in the ass to actually end up getting it. So, and Ella says, I buy used SSDs on eBay sometimes and ask the seller about crystal disk health screenshot. That will tell you, yeah, that's true. A lot of them will contain a ton of health still. It's the system deals that are in store. So, but I have still caution when I'm doing stuff like that. I don't want the SSD to break and lose. It's always good to back it up. Always good to back up all your items. Have extra storage. There's honestly never enough. But it kind of sucks because usually like what I use is like something like this. Terabyte drive, right? It's probably expensive as hell now, I would imagine. Well, I don't know why I came up with that. That's strange. 24 terabyte. I'm not a big fan of Seagate, but they have their drives, their expansion drives. Like for example, yeah, that's crazy. That's all they have. Let me see. Let me try to look up 20. Maybe they got a 20 terabyte version. Yeah, they don't have any of the expansion drives, but you can get these hard drives and use them to back up into your PC. They're good to have because of course, they're slow as hell, but it's good to back up all your data that is certainly sensitive and important. So Kamikaze says, I want the 270K plus with the RTX. Hey, good luck. I hope you got the 5090 money saved up. The power spec with the 270K is not a bad price. Absolutely. So you can check smart status and it will tell you the accurate condition of the SSD. I just clicked the 270K in Micro Center. It's not shippable. That sucks. That's the thing. Well, if you want to get it for a very decent deal, if you know anybody that lives near a Micro Center, you can get them to get it for you and then ship it out to you. You just have to pay the shipping costs, of course. That's it. How's Amazon looking, by the way? Just out of curiosity, let's see. How much is Amazon charging for the 270K plus now? Let's see, 270K plus. Same thing. So they charge just as much as Micro Center. So they charge this weird $22 extra, the both of them. And that's a one unfair advantage when it comes to it. Just imagine if Micro Center sold things online, like I wonder why they don't at times. If anybody knows the answer, I would certainly love to know the reason why. eBay has some good deals, although prices on eBay's are also up. Cost price margins is. How's everyone feel about GameStop if they buy out eBay? I think that could certainly add some. I hope they're fair and get rid of scalpers because that's the biggest problem. They're like the plague of the earth at this point. So the hard drive will just be for backup. I still have hard drives as archive. Yes. Even if you could run like a RAID setup, it would be nice. So you can add multiple drives to your motherboard. Yeah, there. Speaking of which, there you go. RAID. There you go. We need for Sweeney. So I ordered from Newegg because it's there. You go. That's awesome. Yeah, exactly. At that point, you can just order from Newegg. That or Amazon. Either one is like either like the better ways to go about it. And then would have a PC without hard drive for cold storage and archive, and that works too. Absolutely, definitely the way to go. And we got roughly about 2 minutes before the weekend doorbusters. So let's take a look at these deals that they got. They got the King Spec XG. That's actually a decent deal. Now, I know Mike's definitely opposed to this. The King Spec XG 7001 terabyte. The Gem 4 is $129.99. And they have the AMD Ryzen 7. Oh, that's actually a really good deal. You see that, fam, man? The Ryzen 7 98X3D is at $430. That's cheaper than that's the same price as like the 9800 X3D. So that's actually pretty decent. That's pretty fair. So I wouldn't have, I'll show you guys right there. Wouldn't have a PC without hard drives for cold storage and archive as NAS work. I recently picked up the 270K Ultra, and that would be a build intended. Yeah, and there you go. That's what you want to use it for. I assume you mean the Ultra Plus. I tried to stay away from Amazon for a lot of reasons. They increased their shipping time. I'm like, oh really? Why? Do they not have enough warehouses? That's insane. So the ASRock Challenger Radeon RX 9060 XT's 350, not bad. They got the Montech King 15 Pro, which is only $50. Great deal. Who gives a damn about the Xbox Game Pass? I don't care about that. The 1250 GL 140 power supply is decent. They got the ROG Strict Scope 2. They got their keyboard G733. Now these I'm a bit curious about the Wolf Box DF compressed air. I wonder how much of an improvement it is between my piece that I have, which is super heavy. Their shipping times vary where you are. I lived in Vegas for a year, and really their shipping took more than 2 days. Moved to Jackson, Tennessee, and now it's yeah, that's rough. And I would think it has to do with their warehouses too, right? Like what they have in stock. Like, what's the nearest warehouse you have for Amazon? Because they've been like popping up like crazy. We're supposed to have a warehouse in town, but not everything is in. Everything is in that warehouse, so it can be shipped from New York. Oh man, yeah, that makes sense. Now I can understand why the shipping times can. So if it's that much of a distance, do they have a dedicated Amazon driver that actually will deliver, or do they hand it off to like UPS or USPS? In fact, because I know they had a contract with USPS when it came to cases like this. I'm technically. Oh, really? Oh, wow. So he could probably tell you behind the scenes. Steve could let you know what they would do. So I would assume that's what they would do, right? They would just hand it off to a USPS driver, or a mail carrier to kind of deliver out the package because of the distance. I can't imagine 75 miles they would have a dedicated Amazon driver. I could be wrong about that. It was 2 days, but in 2025 they made the. Yeah, Amazon certainly has to fix that. That's a big issue. So looks like they have officially opened. That is awesome. So for anyone out there that is interested in looking at any of these deals here, oh yeah, god dang freaking TikTok, man. I knew it. TikTok doesn't like me anymore. You know what? F TikTok. I'm not going to stream on there anymore. All because I made a joke of Lego Batman. They can't take jokes. Same here. I don't know if I need 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes. Yeah. I would be a bit worried too. I would be a bit worried about that too. Let me see. I would not. I would be worried about ChatGPT giving financial advice, especially if you truly depended on it. Can you imagine? 2 terabytes at the minimum. Okay, so here it is, guys. I will share the. If anyone is looking for any doorbuster deals, here it is. Feel free to check it out. So they have the 9850 X3D. You can purchase at 430. They have the ASRock Challenger for 350. Oh, it's sold out already. That was freaking fast. So it's 9% off. Let's see, what else do they got? So the Wolf DF60 is $30. You get the Crucial E100, which is 2 terabytes. Port PCI Express 4 for $230. Crucial's a decent one. What else? Let's see what other deals. They got the MPG Z890 Carbon for $290. This would be good to combine with actually with a 260K. I mean 270K plus. That'd be a great motherboard to combine together with that. Let's see. What other deals they got? The one I like mostly, this doesn't make sense. Well, I guess because you get the power supply, but the better deal I like is definitely this one here. This is a very good deal, and it comes with the power supply. You pay 430, and then you get the Steel Legend for 850 watts PSU included. So that's a decent deal for anyone that is into something like this or needs a processor for a good deal. Now, never too much memory. Look for Enterprise Tri-Cell. It's the highest endurance, but quad cell is the bulk of NAND flash, and it is, and it's fine. I can see that. I don't think they would have. That would probably be towards the enterprise side, I would think. But I could be wrong. They could probably sell it. Let's take a look at all the deals, and we'll go back down to. Okay, so they got some pre-builds. Let's see if they got anything else we can see. They got the ASRock Creator Radeon AI Pro R9700. The most important thing you have to consider with storage is the speed. Get some blazing fast for your boot drive in Gen 3 or whatever you can for mass storage. True. They have these ROG Swift 34 QHD, 2K, 360 hertz. That one's decent. Okay, this one's their newer one, but they're still selling it for $1,300. I don't see how that's a deal. 9100 Pro 2 terabytes. So you save 27%, but that thing's like so freaking expensive. It's still like $490. I agree. I think so too. Exactly. I've been doing it for years. So it seems X670 Tomahawk's not too bad. And then they have the Flare X5 series. Not really the greatest. Again, we saw this deal a bit earlier. So MSI is like trying to get rid of like a lot of their power supplies. They're decent power, so they're great. In fact, even with the RTX 5090 build that we have a MSI power supply. That's the A1000 GL. Works great. And or the 1250 GL. They're all great power supplies. You can get them for decent deals if you're looking for something like that. Case wise, they got, again, nothing too crazy. The better ones are definitely, yeah, the most I like is the processor and the SSD. This is expensive still. Tell me how that makes sense. You got the Pro 99, you got the 90, not 90, you got the 990 Pro. That is priced at $479, but then you got the 9100s where it's nearly priced identical and it's PCI Express 5. Tell me how that makes sense. If I ever become good at soldering, I'm probably going to upgrade RAM for my graphics to 16 gigabytes. And Samsung is proud of everything they make. We have Samsung refrigerator. Yeah, that is, oh wow. That sucks. You know, I had this Samsung fridge. back in my other house here. And the biggest problem I had, I don't know if you guys had this problem or not, but in the fridge, what would happen is I would open it up and like towards the, the vegetable and the fruit side, typically on the bottom where it's like that, it's supposed to keep like low humidity or high humidity or however you would like to set it. For some reason, under it would consistently build ice. There would always be water under there, and it would freeze up every time. And that's was with the fridge. So, but never buy. Ironic. But the thing is, I have a Samsung washer and dryer. It's decent, but I think I kind of want to switch over to LGs because I want to get like a slimmer one, a much more slimmer and better one. There are good PSUs and case bundles where cases and case gear is overage conditions. So springs wear out the washers 150. Oh wow, 150 to install. I have bought a case before because it was cheaper than buying the fans with it. Maytag is really, you think Maytag's better? Okay, so out of everyone's opinion here, what is the preferable brand that you would go to for when it comes to home appliances? I have a Samsung Blu-ray home theater and stick it onto memory and make it up for other kit discounting. I asked the repair guys, really? Maytag? Really? Maytag is best? That's interesting. And for some reason they never come to mind. I always think of going with LG because I've always had a good experience with them. And I like their slimmer line. I'm never a big fan of GE for obvious reasons. And because they always end up like breaking down for some reason. Frigidaire is, I think they have their own washers and dryers too. And then they have those really crazy expensive ones, the Lux, what's it called? The Electroluxes. Their drives may be good, but yeah, no, I get it. LG's is good, but they have issues with, oh, okay. With the fridges, okay. With the internal fans. So that would be the thing. So Maytag, okay, so it sounds like I'll definitely look for more Maytag stuff then, if that's the case. Especially the ones with the ice makers and the doors. Makes sense. So now, when I'm in the market, I'll take you guys with me to Best Buy when I do it. If we end up swapping out some appliances, and we'll take a look. But we have Best Buy, and we also, what's that other place we got? It's another, I can't think of it, but we have another spot here that we go to for appliances too. Especially, so I'll keep away from that. The ones with the ice makers in the door. So for Newegg, it seems like the better ones to go for, the better deals. This one's not too bad, 4K, 760. Let's go up here. So far, the best deal I gotta say is definitely this, not the 9800 X3D, but the 9850 X3D2 definitely would be good, and it comes with a power supply. King spec's actually pretty decent because at least it's under $200 to get an SSD. Fan in the freezer goes bad. Sensor keeps telling the compressor that the ice maker is too warm and it keeps running due to the fan being dead. Really? So do you know anything about the Samsung cases then when it comes to the condensation? Like it builds up that humidity and condensation and it ends up freezing. And it happens like every day, no matter how much I would chip at it and like break apart the ice and just like clean up the water, it would still do it. So it's the fans. But this was my old fridge. It doesn't do that now. The new LG's TVs are coming with AI cameras, so they're with AI, there's a reason for it because with AI, they need to have cameras to work properly. Without the cameras, it cannot work right. Circulation. Electrical tape. Yes, absolutely. Remember the case back then when you would ask, when you actually would ask, Alexa about like if we were being watched, and Alexa would say yes, the NSA actually contacts for information, and they would just, and ever since that day, like ever since the day it was caught, they would just swap it out. Electrical tape when a hammer is just yes. So Fan man, guys, I'm just about to go grab some breakfast here. I will have a update because I will be talking with Frogs Gaming. We will be doing a video together coming up in a bit. I don't think it's live, but I'll let you guys know if I can if it is, and I will update you guys with the link. But we'll be working together on something. So, fam guys, I thank everybody for coming in. As I'm starving, if anyone wants to look at these deals, feel free to. We got 20 bucks so far. We got 20 bucks so far coming up. And whatever whatever we have together. Yes, definitely look for it. Whatever we have together when it comes to these funds. We got $20 again for this Threadripper build. Yes, steak and eggs. It's about that time too for it, I gotta say. The best deal is the S7800 XTRD because they have to, and the worldwide channel supplies the volume of 7,000. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be insanely up because it seems like there's so many 7,000 series. Best washers or dryers in Speed Queen. Yeah, we definitely gotta talk, Buster, because I want to make sure to get something decent. So, fam, guys, I thank Buster for his home appliance knowledge here. I thank Weenie Hidden Bull, Tony, Wasabi, Pixel King for his wonderful idea. Original, we started at $5 that we raised for the Threadripper, but we're up to 20. We also got to thank Mike for his wonderful knowledge when it comes to stock supply. Steven for coming in. Thank you for coming in. I got to thank Z-Man. Of course, Stephen Anderson. I got to thank all of you guys. O'Rourke. I thank all of you for being part of the, and of course, Weenie. $20 by you. Yes, a really thin one. Thank you, Amir. Thank you for being part of the wonderful channel. And hopefully, we will see soon. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have to clean off the backyard grind. Oh, okay, okay. Make sure to stay safe out there and keep cool. It's a hot one today.